Okay, we're on day 18, May the 26th. I got a lot to talk about or show everybody here today. This is the garden, the last one that we dug up that we left off on. The last video we took, I was still out with the pick trying to break up the soil over here. We managed to get through that, and we then went through with the shovel and tilled everything over to break it up really nicely for our potatoes. After that, I laid down a layer of moose poop. I should have filmed maybe as I was doing this, but I got ahead of myself, and I laid down all kinds of moose poop across this that the dog's rolling in right now. I then went with a very light layer of leaves, because leaves are good fertilizer as they break down, and they also tend, I think, to keep the weeds down and keep the moisture in the soil. And so I covered over the moose poop with that, and then I came with a very light layer of straw and put over everything. After that, I was ready to plant my potatoes. Now, I've been looking into potatoes, and they say they're a pretty heavy feeder, and I decided today, instead of going forward right away with planting, I'm going to use a bag of cow manure, compost I guess you call it, and I'm going to spread that down as well again, and then try to spread it out evenly with my rake. And then I'll come back and throw that light layer of straw back on over this again. And then we'll plant our potatoes today. And then we're going to add about another foot of straw over top of that. And we've also got to water everything as we go. So I'll leave it there for now. Or I guess we'll start with the manure. And then, so this is what's going down. I don't actually have a cameraman today, so that's why I'm going to have to pause the video occasionally, and as I get each stage of this done, I'll end up coming back and just showing you after I've got each stage done. All right. All right, so I got a layer of manure down. Now what I'm going to do, I don't really want to get my leaves tilled in with the soil. That wasn't the whole point of them. The point was to try to keep them on top of the soil, to keep the moisture in. So I think I'm just going to try to spread this out as best I can, and maybe chop it up a little bit with the rake as I go. And then that's about as best as I'm going to try to work this manure in, cow compost. What I'm hoping is that with the layer of straw that we put over top of it, it's not going to burn the roots on any of the potatoes. Now, quite honestly, I don't know if anything we're doing here this summer is going to work. I'm hoping for the best, but you'll be along, I guess, to see it with me, to see if at the end of this we turn 50 pounds of seed potato into 150 or 200 pounds like I would hope, or if we end up with 50 pounds of seed potato. I'm not sure. Okay, I think it might be back on. We're having a really hard time with that camera today. I've got it mounted on a hay bale over there and a water bottle and just about anything I can to jimmy that thing up that it doesn't fall over. So forgive my video filming today. We've got the first stage of this done. What I'm left with now again is just a layer of leaves and moose poop and now cow manure. I didn't want to till this up too much with my shovel and go and put the leaves back into the soil, because all along as I prepared this flower bed or potato bed, I've been trying to keep it covered as I dug up the original sod and roots and things like that were in here, just so that it wouldn't dry out, because I figure it's not good for the worms and microbes and things in the soil if it completely dries out in the sun for a few days. So we've been keeping a layer of stuff over top of it. And now today, with the addition of the cow manure, with the other stuff, I'm just going to try to keep the leaves up here on the surface again to keep the moisture down. Next, I've got to put some straw down, so I'm just going to do a very light layer over top of everything. And from that, the potato roots are going to have to go down through the straw and into the ground if they want to reach that. So again, we're not going to do a whole lot. I've got it already loosened up. It came in bales, so it was packed pretty tight when I got it. But at the end, it's just going to look like this. I'm going to go and pause again for a minute and go over and do the entire stretch of this. The garden itself is about 6 feet wide by 12 feet long. It may be hard to gauge on the camera there, but we're going to see as well how many potatoes we can fit in this by keeping them about 8 inches apart as we go. So, back in a minute. Okay, so I've got a real loose layer of straw now, and not very deep, over top of the whole bed. You can see here the leaves and stuff, and the dirt is just down here, not very far at all underneath the surface. So now I decided before I go and plant here today that I'm going to get some water on this from my old wheelbarrow. Right now I've been bringing water up with this thing. You can see with that lovely wheel on it that's crooked. It's still an effort trying to move stuff with this, but I'm going to try to get 40 liters of water down on this bed right now first, and then after we have some water on it, I'll go down and get some more before I go and plant. These are handy water jugs to have. So I can either carry these up from the river by hand, or I can put them on my wheelbarrow and bring them that way, but the handles allow you to carry them. Okay, I just about had it with that camera today. I've got it held up now with an axe and a book bag, and I think it's time I took my friend Sarah Ward's advice and went out and got a tripod for this thing that I can mount it, because this is getting ridiculous trying to make that work. Anyway, we're ready now. I've got 40 liters of water now down on top of everything just to try to, I guess, keep it wet. We're in a real hot spell this spring. It's surprising, but we haven't had very much rain at all, and very, very warm days. I've got the flies around me, I'm sweating, I'm dirty with cow manure. This has been no fun. I'd rather be back doing my forestry work. I had a lot better time at that than out here doing this in the sun. But it is what it is. We've got to get this done. So here goes. We're going to try this Ruth Stout method of potato planting. I'm just going to set these down with the eyes up. I'll start here with one of them on the edge of my garden. And every 8 inches or so apart, I'm going to try to do it like this and going towards and away from the camera. So I'll give a little bit of a count here as I go, and let us know at the end of this how much we got in this garden, and that's going to tell me how much more digging and work I got to do out here with the flies to get all of these 50-60 pounds of potatoes that I have planted. So fun times. Okay, hopefully you guys can see what's out here now. I ended up 8 rows by 6 across, 8 this way so far. So I've got 48 potatoes down here and a dog walking through it all. I'm not going to waste any time. I've got to get my straw down over top of these before these dry out. And then I'm going to have to go get some more water. And my camera's propped up on my hay bale. So I think that's going to be it for the video today. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll keep you updated on how this goes. Thank you.